Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over my weekly forecast for the 18th through the 24th. So really I'm just showing you the temperature anomalies and of course the precipitation anomalies. So usually what I do with these, well, I actually haven't done any before, but what I did do with these is I just looked at a lot of models and combined them into one forecast for your whole week. I will be doing these hopefully every Sunday or Monday, just depending on school, of course. This is recorded actually Sunday night because, of course, I have school tomorrow, so this should be scheduled from anywhere from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. tomorrow. So y'all be seeing this on Monday, but this is Sunday night for me. So yeah, guys, I hope y'all do enjoy this video, and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the below average. Now, at the bottom, of course, as I always do say, any new viewers, if you don't know, at the bottom left is my key to this. Just look there for anything if you want to know anything about the map, but I will tell you what everything means. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so you can see in this lighter blue, we're going to start with that. You can see that's where we're expecting maybe a cool down up in the blues, just because we do have a lot of cold air coming down from Canada into a lot of these areas. Now, in the coming weeks, this will expand a little bit to the east and a little bit south into southeast, and even down into parts of these areas. So not this week, but we're already starting to see that change to where it has come a little south. It's still in the way northern states, but we are starting to get a little bit of relief up there, and that will hopefully move south and east. We will have to see throughout the next few model runs, but it's looking like we're going to be seeing cooler temperatures very, very soon. But right now, this week, it's looking like most of our coolest temperatures will be in that slightly below average, which is in your light blue. And then, of course, where we see the most below average will be in your regular blue. So what we would start. So that's usually just going to be your below average at the most. So that's where I think we'll see the most below average. I would even move this into parts of these areas just because it's coming out of Canada, so it'll be like count something like this. So I say something like that would be our most below average. But really anywhere in the blues you're below average. I wouldn't say a lot below average, but you are a little more below average than you usually are if you are in any of the blues. Okay, as we move into the white, that's where I expect about normal conditions. So that's going to be just in that white. So, of course, you do know where you are. I also do have a county map. If you do know your county, you can see your specific county. But in the white, that is where we're going to be seeing normal temperatures. As we move into your yellow, that's where I'm expecting slightly above average temperatures. That's going to be across a lot of parts of the west, and also into parts of the very central plains, also into parts of Maine, northern Maine especially. Okay, as we move into your orange, that's where I expect above average temperatures. This is the most broad area. That'll most likely be across the southeast into parts of really just along the east coast. Also into parts of the southwest, I'm expecting it to be like that too. As we move into your red, that's way above average temperatures. This is where we'll have our hottest temperatures for this week. It'll be brutal hot here, so this is going to be anywhere in the red. I would definitely point out New Mexico and Texas. There's some other parts of states that are in it, but mainly if you live anywhere in New Mexico, Texas, maybe even Oklahoma, you need to be on the lookout for really, really hot temperatures. Hopefully we'll get some relief in the next few weeks, but for now you're just going to be having a lot of hot air in your area, hundreds, you know what I mean. If you live down there, it's probably really hot down there. Yeah, I know it's hot down there, but I can't imagine. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and move on to my precipitation map. So we're going to start with the below average. It's going to be in your yellow. That's where I'm expecting slightly below average precipitation. So you can see that's mainly across the whole west, also into parts of the northern plains, also into parts of the northeast. I'm expecting slightly below average precipitation. So usually at this time of year in California, we see 0 inches. So I didn't want to put you in the extremely below average because we're going to be seeing 0 inches, so there's really no below average or, it's just the normal. So I know a lot of people will say normal about a lot of these areas, but if you live anywhere across here or just in these areas right here, just it's pretty much going to be normal. I just wanted to put the yellow here just because in some of these areas it could be like that. You may see one droplet of rain, but it's mainly going to be, let's say, if you're anywhere in here, just say drought. If you want to say that for that part of the yellow, let's just say that's drought. And even across parts of these areas, we are near Seattle, Washington, Oregon, we may see like half an inch of rain, maybe to an inch out of this whole week. So really, we're not expecting much. But I just put that there just because, you know, it's usually normal to see 0 inches, and we are seeing 0 inches. But I just kind of want to make that its own yellow and kind of point out that it's going to be a drought there. We're going to see a drought setting up. Okay, also into parts of the Northeast and parts of the Great Lakes region, I'm expecting slightly below average. That's going to be, this is actually where we will see precipitation in some of these areas. But, especially the Northeast, we will be seeing precipitation. I just don't think we're going to be seeing a lot in those areas. So I do think we'll see slightly below average. Now, as we move into the orange, that's going to be just below average. That's going to be across a lot of parts of Texas, into New Mexico, parts of Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, into parts of North Dakota, and eastern parts of Minnesota. So, around here is just really below average. May not see anything. Now, in these areas, usually we could see rain. So, I am putting you in the below average just because you're actually below average. You're not 0 inches, 0 inches. You're actually below average. So that's what we're seeing there. And I actually do expect it to be less than we usually do see, if anything. Okay, now we're going to move on to the white. Of course, that is your normal, just like the precipitation. So if you're in the white, that's going to be around normal. Especially, there's a lot of uncertainty in these normal areas, especially the precip this week. There's a lot of uncertainty, especially in the state of Florida. There's a lot of differences, which I will get into in a minute. But that's where we'll most likely see normal precipitation. If I'm saying temperatures instead of precipitation or anything like that, I hope you do know what I mean from the key at the bottom, but I do that sometimes unintentionally. But if I do, I'm very sorry about that. Okay, so as we move into your lighter green, if you can see the difference between the yellow and then you have the light green. So in this light green, that's where I'm expecting slightly above average temperatures. That's going to be in the coastal Carolinas, also into Virginia, parts of West Virginia, also into Kentucky, Tennessee, northern Alabama, and northern Mississippi, also into parts of Nebraska and Kansas. Maybe some slightly above average precipitation. So these where I'm expecting not too much above average, but we will still see a little bit above average. Now, as we move into your medium shade of green, that's where I'm expecting above average precipitation. So this is going to be across parts of the southeast, as you can see around here. Now, the reason I did bring it up into here is usually in a lot of these areas, we will see a lot of storms set up. Usually there's like a dome over some of these areas, and we'll see storms set up right here. Also, we do have some Gulf moisture coming up, and it'll pretty much just get trapped along here before it goes into the main parts of the mountains. Also, we do have that frontal boundary I talked about in yesterday's video. So there's a lot of key factors that have came into this. Also in just parts of eastern Louisiana, parts of southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and parts of the Florida panhandle, northern Florida. I'm just putting that there because we're seeing a lot of direct Gulf moisture where you are. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to that medium color of green in parts of the Central Plains. That's going to be in southern parts of Missouri, into parts of Kansas once again, southeastern Nebraska, also parts of southern Iowa, into parts of Illinois. So that's where I'm expecting just above average. You will notice it, but it won't be way worse than usual. Now, as we move into your darkest green, that's where I'm expecting way above average precipitation. So this is where I'm very concerned about flooding and stuff like that. So what I did put on here in this first area I want to talk about. So in yesterday's video, I covered a lot of flooding that could be happening across the Gulf. So usually we don't see that much flooding. So I did put you in the way above average right here just because that's where we'll have a lot of these storms happening and kind of training thunderstorms. That's when we usually just get them to happen in the same spots. We will see a lot of that, especially early week. So we could see a lot of flooding early week. Now, as we get through the latter part of the week, that could definitely change. We will have to see what goes on there, but we're still expecting precipitation then. So I did put you in the way above average there. Now, what I was talking about with Florida. So you can see how in Florida we have every single shade on my thing. So we have, well, not every single one, we're missing the orange, but everything but the orange. So Florida is a really big battleground state this week, just because we have a lot of unsettled moisture along the Gulf, and we really don't know where it's going to go. So we're going to have to see what happens there. I know a lot of people are complaining about not having much rain in Florida, but then there's other parts of Florida that have been flooded, roads and everything across parts of the northern states. So this is a very hard state to predict, but that's my best prediction. Okay, now as we move once again into your darker green, that's going to be across parts of central and northern Missouri, northeastern parts of Kansas, and other parts of very, very southeastern Nebraska and very, very southern parts of Iowa. So really, this is just where I think we could be seeing once again a lot of precipitation, and this is where we'll see most of our severe storms setting up a lot of times this week. So this is just where we could be seeing a lot of the storms coming through and causing flash flooding. So that is mainly what we're seeing there, just because of those severe storms, and of course, it's just that daytime heating pretty much. So that's what we're seeing when it comes to precipitation. So I am going to go over this one more time. I'm not going to commentate it because and you all know I wouldn't do that again. I wouldn't go back and commentate it over again. That just wouldn't make sense. But I am going to let you look over this while I do talk. So as you can see, just look over that if you missed anything, any key points of the temperatures. So here, like I said, are the temperatures. And as we move into your second map, that is precipitation. So I hope you did get a good look at both of these. And if you did enjoy today's video, leave a like down below and subscribe. And I hope y'all did enjoy, and I hope y'all have a great day. And I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.